Hello, my name is Frank Christensen and I'm the coordinator of officials for IFAF Europe. This is the first of 4 training tapes dealing with personal fouls and unnecessary roughness. Today we're looking at dead ball situations by the team in possession of the ball. So the team that has the ball after the play, they commit personal foul, unnecessary roughness. And we'll look at some examples and talk about how much is too much and who should be looking at these situations, since they typically happen away from the ball, which is specific for unnecessary roughness, which typically happens away from the ball, as opposed to late hits, which typically happen against a runner. But before we get to the game film, let's have a look to see what the rulebook and the MOFO have to say on this topic. In the rulebook, we go to 9.1.12, contact against an opponent out of the play, and B says no player shall run into or throw himself against an opponent obviously out of the play, either before or after the ball is dead. In the MOFO, we start out in 335 legal block in the back, where E says charging into a player's back away from the play may be called as unnecessary roughness. This may be called regardless of the timing of the block relative to the end of the play. And then we move on to 3.3.12, dealing with unnecessary roughness. A, an act that occurs well away from the play may be classed as a personal foul, even though the act itself is legal. In other words, it is the location of the players with respect to the play that causes the foul, not the legality of the contact. B, be certain that the act wasn't justified by the play situation, for example an interception or fumble return or broken play. If a player is in position to influence the play or moving towards it, he is a fair target. If he's standing still, he is not. C, it is not a foul if 2 players are each blocking each other. Only contact against the player off his guard needs to be penalized. D, for unnecessary hits away from the ball near the end of the play, make them dead ball fouls rather than live ball fouls. And finally, E, when a player is hit after giving himself up, a foul is warranted. And that was the book. Now let's have a look at some real live examples in the game film. In this first example, we're looking at the center. And it's going to happen right after the ball dies, so right there he comes in and just levels a guy. Now this is dead ball. Right there the ball is dead, and he needs to know this. I mean, the play ends right in front of him, and he needs to see that B17 is not, I mean, he's moving slightly towards the ball, but he's stopping, and he's not participating in the down that's already gone. So we really need to be good dead ball officials and catch this, because when we don't catch this, this is the type of action that's going to create retaliation later on. So let's have a look at who needs to see this. Well, it happens right in front of the umpire. He certainly is a prime candidate to be able to see this. Backside wing might be able to see it. The deep wing on this side, or the back judge, also could be looking at this. And the indicator is the way that everybody else is slowing down and 75 is speeding up. Once you see that, that's usually a break in the hand. So, you know, put on your wide angle, so that you can see if somebody's speeding up, and then pick him up, because certainly especially the umpire should be able to see this. In comparison, let's have a look at this guard away from the camera and the way he's standing there, and then, you know, after the play ends, which is right there, which he can see, he decides to pick out number 38, who's just standing there. He's already stopped also, and just level him. But so we've got the same indicator, even though it's not open field the way it was in the previous play. You know, everybody is stopped, and
the target is just standing around, and here comes somebody with a lot more speed than anybody else. But here the umpire is alert to it, and he actually calls it good flag, good pickup. And even the back judge also comes in with the flag. So here we've got really good coverage and good job by these two. So let's see what similar indicators that we have on this play. And I'm just going to let it roll, see if you can identify the culprit here. So right there after the play. So basically what we're looking for is the guy, the white jersey on the 40-yard line right now. Now the play is not over yet, but it is now. And here he comes, and just completely unnecessarily, I don't know what he was thinking, but this certainly is a dead ball, unnecessary roughness. And you know, who can see this? Well, the umpire is looking down that way. We also have 3 deep officials who should be looking in that area, and if nothing is going on for the wings, they might be looking in this general area. And again, you know, once we see this guy coming in with more speed than the others, that's what we want to be looking at, and certainly we want to catch this potentially dangerous hit. The far tackle is the player we're looking at this time, and he's fine here, and then the runner goes and dies there, and then that happens. So again, we've got the runner down, and the tackle needs to know that. It happens in front of him, and then even behind the runner, he finds somebody just standing around and levels him. So this is certainly, it's after the play, and it is unnecessary roughness. And you know, you can't really fault the wing for not seeing it, because he's probably focused on the runner and progress. But the center judge, and you know, potentially also the umpire, certainly should be able to pick this up so that we catch this, because again, when we don't, this is the kind of thing that creates retaliation later on in the game. After this kickoff, we'll have one of the, as you'll see, one of the return team players right there on the 15. You know, after the play, he picks out somebody who's just standing there because the play is over. I mean, you can tell by the guy gets hit. He just kind of lets up, and even if you have doubts whether the play is over or not, when you're in that gray area of was the play dead or wasn't it, then we want to go dead ball fouls. And in this case, the referee calls it correctly, and certainly he should be looking there. Potentially the backside wing could also be looking there if he's not focused in on forward progress, but this certainly is an unnecessary hit that needs to be called as a personal foul. Here we're looking at the near tackle, not the tight end, but the tackle 54 that's coming out there. And then now he'll come back again well after the play is over, and he needs to be able to see that. I mean, it's right in front of him, and then he hits B5. Now this one is different in the sense that even with the ball being live, this would have been an illegal foul or an illegal block. And so we're not as lenient as we would be had there been a potential for this block to be legal. Had the ball still been alive, had the runner still been going, this could have been either a block in the back or a blindside block, depending on the forcefulness and the situation. But here, once the ball is dead, we can't go block in the back, we can't go blindside block. So this would be a correct call for personal foul, unnecessary roughness, or dead ball, unnecessary roughness. Before we move on to the legal plays, here we're looking at the the guard away from the camera. He's going to pull around and do pass protection. So right there, he's okay with that first. Then that last second push is just too late and too much. This is clearly dead ball and as such, and therefore unnecessary roughness. I mean, the first part is okay. The ball is gone, but that's fine. And then he kind of lets go, and the defender eases up, and then he decides to make another push after the ball is clearly gone. So this certainly could be called as a dead ball, unsportsmanlike, or unnecessary roughness. And you know, who needs to see this? Well, the wing on that side could certainly see it. The referee looks like he is looking at it and judged that it wasn't enough. I would certainly have supported a flag on this one. The closest tackle here, and these last two examples in this training table show legal action. There just isn't enough. Here he comes in and engages the white player there, but it's not super late, and the contact is not super forceful, and he even makes sure that the guy doesn't fall over, tries to hold him up. You know, he comes in with his arms first, and then he tries to hold him up. So, you know, that's a good job of controlling yourself, and you know, would be a good job or a good situation for the umpire or the center judge or whoever has a chance to just tell this guy, hey, good job holding up or letting up, so that they know that we're watching and they know where the line is. So this is a legal hit. In this last play, we're looking at the running back, and he's going to do pass protection here, and then he's going to do that. Now here we're getting right to the edge of what we can allow. I mean, timing wise, he knows the ball is gone, right? He's looking there, he knows the ball is gone, and as such his job is over, and yet he decides to run several steps, several yards over to B6, who's just standing there looking. His job is over. He didn't get to the quarterback, so he's now done with the game, or with the play too. And then he gets hit there, or the running back hits him. So I don't think this is quite forceful enough. Obviously, if B6 had gone flying more than he does, there certainly would be a call. And if this game is right on the edge, or the temperature of the game is close to boiling, this could be something that we would want to call, just to control the game. But this certainly is very late, and something that we could consider calling, and a talk to would certainly be in place here. And something that we should consider doing, because otherwise, you know, this will escalate. And who can see this? Well, you know, the backside wing might be able to see it. The referee or center judge, whoever's on this side of the ball, might see it. I wouldn't necessarily expect the umpire, because this is the type of pass that where we would like the umpire to look at. So he would be looking there, which he does here correctly, and I also think it would be a difficult get for the deep officials, just simply because it still happens, you know, in the box area there. But the backside wing or the referee here certainly should be able to pick this up and make sure that we have a talk to this guy if we decide this is not worth calling. And again, I only think this would need to be called if the temperature of the game mandated it. That was the training tape. I hope it made sense. I hope you were able to see what we want called and what we can let go, and I hope you found something you can use on the field.